Greetings, gentlemen. Welcome back to the self-worth series of you being enough, right? And so, again, just like all the other ones, I'm going to hop right into it. I'm not going to waste any of your time. Your time is precious to me. I know it's precious to you. So I just want to hop into this one. I want to hop into the sick truth, right? There's a sick truth when it comes to being enough, right? And the sick truth is there is no metric. Follow me. When you're in school, what kind of grade do you have to get to graduate, right? And you guys know this answer. And if you don't, I'll tell you. You need at least a C. In most schools, you need at least a C. Graduate school is a little bit different, but in most schools, you need a C. 70%. That's the metric. That metric says you have learned enough material to be worthy of the degree, right? You have enough to do what you need to do with this degree. This degree we're giving you says that you have at least 70% of the information from this program, and that is enough to do whatever it is you need to do out there in the field, right? Out there in your career. That's a metric, right? Follow me with this, right? Your bills. If you have a credit card bill, let's say your credit card bill is $5,000, then you know what enough is. The credit card company has told you, you borrowed $5,000. In order to be enough, you need $5,000. Okay? You follow me, right? There's a metric there. And then if you say, hey, I don't got $5,000 right now, but I know if I chip away at it, $100 a month for an extended period of time, then I will pay it off. I will be interest, but I'll pay it off by this date, this time, and that will be enough. So if I put this concentrated effort in over an extended period of time, there is a specific time where it will be enough and that debt will be paid off. You following me? Now, I want you to think about relationships, manhood, parenting, right? What's the metric? Where is a 70%? Where is a certain dollar amount that says, if I do X enough, then it will finally be enough. If I pour enough in, there will be, what is the metric? Ask yourself that question. If I love my wife in so many certain ways, it will finally be enough. If I do this with my kids, that will finally be enough. If I show up as a leader, provider, and protector enough, then it will be enough. If I do that 5 days out of the week out of 7, that will be enough. If I love my wife 3 days out of 7, that's enough. If I show up for my kids, 4 times out of the week out of 7, that's enough. Where is the metric? That's the sick truth. There is no metric. That's why you're drained. That's why you're empty. That's why it seems like there's nothing you could do that makes you feel enough in any given area. Because there's no metric. You can show up for your wife 7 days a week and still nothing change. You can show up for your kids and still nothing change. You can lead, provide, protect and still nothing change. You can show up for your men's group and all these other people and give and pour and still nothing changes. And you think, daggone, what will it take for me to be finally recognized as enough? Where's that worth and that value? What will it finally take? There is no metric. You can't do enough. You can't pour out enough. You can't spend enough. You can't talk enough. You can't encourage enough. You can't love enough to be enough. That's a sick joke. There is no metric. That's the problem. Again, when it comes to self-worth, there is no outside barometer that says, yeah, you're enough. There is none. Why? Because you're already enough. All those things out there don't determine whether you're enough. They don't. You could love your wife to the 10th degree. It won't give you your value. It can't. Your value doesn't come from her. You could be the best father of the year, 10 years running. It's not enough because your value doesn't come from your children. You can show up and be the best employee at work or the best boss or the best business, but never be enough because your value can't come from those sources. It can't. Think of it like this. Hopefully this example lands. But think of it like being in a math class and turning in English homework. And you do a whole bunch of English work in your math class. It could be the best English work ever. It could be A+. Your teacher could look at it and say, man, you are a phenomenal writer. Oh, man, you understand Shakespeare like no other. Oh, man, the depth of your writing and the knowledge and your poetry and all oh, man, it's phenomenal. But this is a math class. Can't give you any credit for that. We don't do English here. We do math here. So I can't give, no matter how great you are, no matter how much effort you pour into your English stuff, I cannot give you the validation you're looking for because this is a math class. I can only validate you based off doing math, not English. And so what you try to do is you tried everything else is a math class. You're English and you're trying to pour into your wife. You're trying to pour into your kids. You're trying to pour into this and pour into that and pour in that church and pour into the community and pour into the young and mentor and do all these things. And you're expecting that validation to fill a hole that it is not designed to fill. Because see, your wife could love you and your kids could love you and everyone could honor you and all those things and everybody in the world could love you. And guess what happens? A lot of these guys go still off themselves. How is that possible? How is it possible? I was just thinking about, I think it's Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. If I got his name wrong, please forgive me, right? This man was freaking awesome. It's my favorite Power Ranger. No disrespect to the others, but like the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, he came to, like, he was awesome. You know, he was phenomenal. People loved him and all those things like that. Wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Give you another example. My dad's favorite actor was Robbins. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. I keep thinking about Tony. But Mrs. Doubtfire, right? Mrs. Doubtfire. But the last name was Robbins though, right? And so, and if it comes to me, I'll come back and say it, right? But I want you to think about this. This man made people laugh. This man, like, he went over into, was it with Vietnam, where he was making these soldiers who were in the worst conditions, not the worst conditions, but they were in bad conditions, you know, to show up for them. You know, he made movie after movie and show after show and stand up after stand up and all these things like that. And guess what? It wasn't enough. He still felt alone. Robin Williams. There we go. Robin Williams. I knew it was going to come to me, right? He still felt alone. Mind you, everybody loved him, at least from what it's looked like on the outside. He made people laugh. You know how helpful laughing is? It literally helps within the body. And I don't know all the little microbiomes and all that stuff like that, biomes, but like all the pathways and I don't know all that. But laughter, joy, happiness, that stuff helps and it heals in the body and it changes our mood. This man was changing lives on a grand scale for majority of a life. And it wasn't enough. He still took his own life. Still took his own life. So it's a sick joke. It's a sick joke that we think we've been lied to that we could, if we do enough, then finally it'll be worth it. If we do enough, then finally we'll be validated. If we do enough, there's never enough. You can't make enough money. You can't love enough. You can't pour out enough. You're pouring into a bottomless pit. It's never going to work. And the sickest joke of them all in this whole thing, and you'll hear me say it time and time again, is that you're already enough. Robin Williams was already enough. Jason David Frank was already enough. They were already enough. They didn't need anybody to come and validate them. They were already enough. From the moment they were born, they were already enough. And there was no way they could do anything else to increase their internal value. I think Tony Robbins said that his mentor said, Jim Rohn, that all people are made the same, but not everyone's value is the same in the marketplace. So two different things, two completely different things. Because again, their value in the marketplace was phenomenal. You wanted them on your show. You wanted them in your movie. You wanted them there. Because they brought extreme value. But it wasn't enough. It doesn't translate. It does not translate. So I just want you guys, the message I want you guys to take from this video is that stop trying to seek outside validation and meet these, we talked about the invisible metric before, but for here, there is no metric. There's no measurement for what's enough. And that's okay. Because what it means is stop trying to find your fulfillment in other people. Stop trying to find your fulfillment in your job. Stop trying to find your self-worth and your value in that stuff. You have to understand and internalize, I am already enough. If I do nothing else, I'm already enough. And I'm worthy of love and I'm worthy of honor. Like, I'm worthy of that already. I'm worthy of love already out the gate. So that's the take-home message for this. There is no metric. Stop working for something that you already have and you already are owed. There is no metric, right? You owe it to yourself to love yourself. You owe it to yourself that, because you're already great. You're already awesome. When you came out the womb, you're already great, right? That is your take-home message, right, for this one. And we'll be back for another one, guys. Please keep with this series. Again, if you missed any, if you're hopping in anywhere, I'm going to create a playlist of these. Go back and watch the playlist. They all come together and it works together. Again, this is about improving your self-worth and knowing your value and stop trying to seek it out there in the world, because the world can't tell you who you are. They can't tell you your worth or your value. Your value is immeasurable. Your value is incalculable. It's not based on anybody or anything else. So I want you to internalize that. We'll be back with more. Y'all take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day. And I'll see you again soon.